Yo, it's P back with another video, and today we are going to I will finally be helping y'all out with the building asset of Fortnite Mobile. I know a lot of y'all have been asking me for this video. P, can you help out with retakes? P, can you help me improve with building? P, can you coach me? I feel like in this video, I'm going to tell y'all what I know as a pretty decent Fortnite Mobile player, what I know, and what you guys can apply to your own game, regardless of skill level, hence why I have beginner to pro in the title, to become a better builder and hopefully better at Fortnite Mobile through your newfound building knowledge. Anyways, let's get right into it. Before we even get into the actual building section of the video, I want to set you guys up with some fundamentals that can help you become a better builder. Firstly, I want everybody watching this video, if possible, let me move to a better position to say this message. I want everybody watching this video, if possible, to try to play on at least a 3-finger HUD. In my opinion, playing on this amount of fingers or more mechanically enables you to play better at the game, to be able to do more stuff is what I'm trying to get at. Do more stuff. Like whenever I'm building, I have a finger dedicated to building, one dedicated to editing, one dedicated to placing builds, and one dedicated to moving. If I were to play on 2 fingers, I would have to do all of those functions, all of them with only 2, which makes playing the game exponentially harder in my opinion. So if you're going to play Fortnite Mobile and want to become a crazy builder, try to play on at least 3 fingers. Now, a lot of people have asked me this one as well. Should I just have builds on my screen to switch to builds? So like the build icons, if that makes sense, to switch to builds, or should I use the gear button? In my opinion, apparently having the builds on the screen is more optimal because it limits the amounts of functions you need to do. Like if you want to switch to cone, you can click the cone button and it switches right to that. But in my opinion, both work. I've seen both work pretty solid, pretty well. Like either or, you can probably become decently mechanical on. So in my opinion, I wouldn't see one over the other, but I'd say it's rather preference. Whichever one you feel more comfortable with, go for it, go at it, and bam. Those are the first 2 beginner tips. Getting into the builds, the first build I want you guys to learn is actually kind of atypical compared to a lot of other videos. Like I'd presume they'd tell you to learn something along the lines of this. Like something like these spider 90s you see me doing, or these, oh I messed up, these like right 90s, like that. But in my opinion, I actually believe learning this, like knowing how to do this, is more effective. The 2-stair, 2-ramp up method, just literally placing 2 ramps up and going like a layer up. Why do I say this? I've noticed in a lot of my fights, my enemies and myself, this is how we usually start. And I'm talking like elite champion on real lobbies, this is how we usually start. Like we just ramp 2 up and then react to each other accordingly. Like based on what he does, I'll do something. Based on what I do, he'll do something. Very rarely do I fight an enemy and this is their first move. Like that, 90s. So, that is what I recommend you to start learning first, those ramps. Now, there are a bunch of variations of this ramp technique, which I'm about to show here. For my visual learners, y'all are winning, and now I'm about to show some visual examples of starts you can do from beginner to pro difficulty. So like the ones I show in the beginning are probably going to be the easiest and will progressively get harder as I go on. Without further ado, here they are. Yeah, we all got to improve somewhere. Even on that last one, I can't lie, I was kind of struggling, so I definitely got to put in some work. Now, all of those 2 ramp retakes I just showed you were to gain initial height. So like whenever the fight starts, the build fight starts, those retakes are for gaining height at first. Now, what do you do if you don't gain height? These are where retakes, which a lot of y'all may know, come in. If height doesn't work, it's important to know these. If done right, they ensure you get height. The most important element of these moves is staying protected though, in my opinion. When performing them, remember to cover all angles your opponents can shoot you from with walls so you don't get shot while coming up, which can literally lose you the fight, and has lost me some fights in the past. So when you're trying to do the retake, don't do it like wide open like this. At minimum, try to put like a stair over your head. As you get more, like as a beginner, this is probably a good retake to start learning. Just put a stair over your head, and then as you get more advanced, put some walls as well. Put some walls. And then pro level, throw some cones in there. Oh shoot, I messed up, but throw some cones in there as you're retaking with the wall, so there's literally no way to get hit. And then if you're really trying to grind the retake, start throwing and moving in different directions. Notice how I'm changing direction like very often. Change direction to throw off your opponent. Like don't move in just like one linear way like this. Try to like move this way. Move this way. Like, I mean, that's advanced pro stuff though. That's definitely more down the road. Like at first, just focus on blocking the angles the opponent can hit you from. Timing is also important whenever you do these retakes. Try to perform them when the opponent is only 1 to 2 boxes above you. So, what I'm basically saying here is, if the opponent has cranked a bunch of 90s and is sitting like at max height, looking down at you like this, you don't want to shoot them. But rather, wait for them to drop down. So, I mean, this is an extreme example, but say I'm right here. Say I'm in the box below. When the opponent is right here, this is when you want to do the retake. Because from their perspective, they're going to have little time to react, and you can even make an aggressive play on them, potentially. Maybe full box them, get them boxed. Like, they have to react significantly quicker and have way less time to react to your attacks than an opponent that is 5 to 10 stories above you, just living life. And what if the opponent doesn't come down? What if the opponent just stays up there, those 5 to 10 layers? That's when you start to chop the builds, but we get into that later. For now, let's get into the actual retakes. Like before, these will progress from beginner to pro and how easy they are to do, so there's one for every skill level. In my opinion, I wouldn't call any of those pro level retakes, and here's why. In game, you want to do mechanics that are as simple as possible in terms of efficiency. You want to do the most efficient mechanic retake that's not going to burn a lot of mats and isn't super hard to pull off so you don't mess it up. For that reason, all of those retakes were relatively simple, some a little more complicated and probably take some more time, especially for beginners. But with practice, I believe y'all can learn those and apply them to your game, and they will help y'all exponentially. Mobile players everywhere. As a side note, in my opinion, you should learn hide walls. As you saw in many of those, I supplemented the retake with this move. Do it again, this move. Hide walls. You can do it to the side too, like this. Side high walls as well. Why do I do this? Because in my personal fighting, that is one of the most effective moves. Whenever I do that high wall maneuver, that high wall move, it single-handedly sometimes is the difference in the fight, and it's very helpful. So I recommend to all of you guys trying to become better at building, learn the high wall. Learn the high wall, very effective. Maybe even combine it with other techniques. If you're lower FPS, going off of what I was saying a second ago, try to learn and use less demanding minimal retakes. Think the stair, but the stair retake. Literally the beginner of the beginner retake I did. Where you're just doing this. Other retakes may be less optimal in game. Like, you're not going to want to do this. I don't even know what I'm doing right now, but like, you see what I mean? Like, that's like so hard to pull off consistently. Like, changing those directions that often. The pros can do it, but there's a reason they're the PC pros. Just try to keep it simple. Kiss method, keep it simple, stupid. That's how I try to think of when I'm doing retakes in game. Just keep the retakes simple and focus on where my enemy is going. Track your enemy, very important. In fights, to become a better builder, you want to build reactively. You don't want to do those crazy retakes. Just do moves that'll simply counter your enemy. Track your enemy. So if he's like right below me, I just have to do this, like that. I just have to full box him like that. I don't need to do I can't even do it because there's like input delay, but I don't need to like do a million like mechanical moves like I'm in creative or something, like all that, and then by the time I get down to him I do a bad peek and he one pumps me. Like, no, just track where your enemy's going, only waste as much mats as you need to. It's like that. Full box. Just do a simple move to stop the enemy. What am I trying to say at this point? Don't waste more mats than you'd need to. Think about how many mats you're using. Don't do flashy moves if you don't need to. Just do what is going to eliminate the enemy. Sometimes builds are not even necessary. Maybe you'll just flow berry on them, catch them off guard, jump on them 50-50. Could be as simple as that. Now that you know some simple retakes and have those under your belt, it's now time for the anti-building technique. What percent? There's that? Yes, there is. Chopping. Sometimes, as I said earlier, you will fight that player that just 90s and 90s and 90s and 90s up infinitely until, as many shorts, TikToks you may have watched have said, built a 5-star hotel. You don't want to fight that player for height. Big waste of mats. If you go as well, you're literally at the risk of being chopped. Eliminating you and the player don't want this. To prevent this, what do? Well, become the chopper. First off, as a general recommendation, if you notice you've gone 5 stories up. So let's say 5 stairs. 5 stairs up length, like 5 walls up, 5 stairs up, this high. And you notice you're a little above off the ground. At most 7th lengths if you need to continue fighting the guy. Realize it, like having your head on 5 stories up, because when you're at this length, you're at a higher risk of being chopped out by others nearby. What do I mean by this? Because the build fight height is this high, it's super visible and super easy to see. Let me run a little away. Say I'm a third party from 80 meters away? That is so easy to see. I'm on a low ground position and I can still see how high that guy is. And what do you do as a player when you see high builds like that? Oh, easy eliminations. I'm going to break it out. So, whenever you're build fighting, be aware of how high you are to prevent that from happening. And, as a minor note, when you take that fall, it could literally instantly eliminate you. You'll take a lot of fall damage. Didn't take any here. It's creative. I mean, come on, but in game you will take a lot of fall damage. I've learned that lesson many times. Trust me, it's not one that I enjoy. Not an enjoyable lesson to learn. So what do you do once you reach this limit? Of course, there's the option of, say this season, like flow burying down, or using a non-gravity item and getting down, or just dropping off the high layer. But there's also another option you can do to beat this player and get them to drop down from height if they're just sitting up there, and it is called chopping. So say they're just above me, I could do something like this. Something along the lines of this, all falls out, go for a shot. So when you're chopping though, what is the number one tip, in my opinion, for you to take in when you're chopping? Do a protected chop. So try to be in like a full box like this, situated in a full box, or out of the enemy's sight. Do not go out like this, like wide open, and go in the enemy's sight. Say this is what they're held up by. You don't want to go like this. Why do I say this? Because literally any enemy in their right mind is going to see you chopping, and they're going to try to jump down and get a pump shot on you. But, which, you're vulnerable. You're wide open. Say you're right here. They jump on you. You're getting hit at least 50. Like, you're not dodging it. They see you before you see them because you're focused on chopping the builds. How do you counter this? As I said, simply protect. Do protected chops only. Build around yourself while chopping. That is the tip. Build around yourself while chopping. If you're chopping like this, they don't have that time to do that, and you're completely protected. They're pretty much forced to either just wait for you to chop or jump on your wall and box fight you, which then you have a lot of counters. Box fighting video coming soon. I know some of y'all want that, so I will be working on it and trying to get it out. Anywho, here are 3 decent chops that I do a lot in game that I believe y'all can apply to your own games and will help you chop out those enemies. Full lumberjack mode, bro. Let's get it. And that's all I got for this building guide. I'm not gonna lie, I will be completely honest, it didn't really focus on beginner moves and like what to do as if you're a beginner, as much as it did like what to do for intermediate level players. So in future videos I will probably make a beginners only guide for building. And as I said, I ideally can get a box fighting and editing video out this season, so be on the lookout for that as well. Without further ado, if you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below or in Discord. I will be grateful to answer and help out with any building woes you may have and give some tips if need be. And if you made it this far, you have some decent tech, some decent moves you can use to become a master builder. KISS method, keeping it simple, stupid. That's all I got to say. We're out. Peace.